السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Inshallah, in today's khadra, I want to touch upon an ayah in the earlier part of Surah Al-Baqarah that is of great relevance today, especially as we are in the month of Ramadan. The 45th ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah reads, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واستعينوا بالصبر والصلاة, and seek help through patience and prayer. وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. Indeed, it is a burden except for the humble. When we read through this ayah, when we read through the details, we'll learn lessons that are not only important for changing our mindset for the better, but as well as our heart. So let's break it down. From the very beginning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا, and seek help. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting us to seek His help. How often is it that we are in front of a figure of authority? Maybe our bosses, maybe our principals, our teachers, and we feel scared to ask for help, to reach out. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Creator, is inviting us to seek His help. And in which way and how can we actually seek that help? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses a specific word here. There's many ways in Arabic to denote help, to really say, I'm reaching out for help. The specific word here, wasta'inu, means a type of help that you seek after you've put in effort. So for example, you have a flat tire, and you're putting in effort to actually fix it, and then maybe at the end of the job, you ask somebody, hey, can you help me finish the job? That's really what's being referred to here. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, inviting us to get His help, and on top of that, He is telling us that we need to put in effort in order to get that help. So the question that then comes, how do we actually gain that help? What do we have to do? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala follows, bis-sabri was-salah, through patience and prayer. What is meant here by patience is really being unchanging, being unwavering. Indeed, it is hard. It's hard on us when we face trials and tribulations, whatever difficulties we may be going through, and it becomes easy at that point to let go of the fara'id, to let go of our obligations towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to let go of the sunnah acts of worship that we do, to let go of the positive thoughts that we have of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so in this sense, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to stay steadfast, stay patient. But even that, let's be honest with ourselves, that is hard. And so what comes next is really our recharge point, the way we can get going again, the way we can get started again. In the same way that a car, we take it to the gas station in order to get it fuel so that it can go further, salah is the way we recharge ourselves so that we can go further. And what salah really brings to us is two things that are really relevant here when it comes to facing difficulty. Firstly, it gives us empathy. As a people, we are people that need emotional regulation. What that means is that whenever we face a difficulty that's heavy, or even something small, like an argument you have with a family member, you want to tell people. You want people to know what happened. You want people to know how you feel. You want people to know what you wanted to happen instead. And so in this sense, what we really need is emotional regulation. And who better to speak to than the one who created you, who knows the depth of what you're going through, the depth of your emotion, and the depth of the exact solution that you really need. And alongside this, not only do you get the ultimate form of empathy, you also get to speak with the one who can actually solve any and every problem you have. Usually when we face a hard difficulty, what we really need is change. We don't just need someone to talk to. For example, if your health has worsened, at that moment in time, yes, talking to someone helps, but what would really help is your health would be better again, so that you can live normally again. If you've lost a loved one, what we really need at that point is really peace in our hearts again like it was before. And so in that sense, not only are you given that source of empathy, but also you are given attention from the one who can solve any and every one of your problems. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really teaches us here is to be patient, as well as to refuel through salah, so that we can face our difficulties and eventually gain the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in that way, when you put in effort, you can gain the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we know, the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once it comes, there is nothing that stops it. There is no person, no individual, nor group that has ever relied upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and has not succeeded. There is no individual nor group that has ever relied upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and has not succeeded. But even then, let's be completely frank with each other. The process of seeking Allah's help by praying, by staying patient, that gets hard on us. So what do you do at that point? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us advice on how to make it easier. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala follows the ayah, وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. And indeed, it is nearly impossible. What it here is referring to, the way I'll explain it, there's many interpretations. The way I'll explain it is that getting the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through prayer, through patience, that is nearly impossible except for those who have khushu'. And what is meant by khushu' here is really to humble yourself, to physically lower yourself. And so we do this in salah. We lower our gaze, we don't yell, we don't scream, we prostrate, we bow down. But what is also needed is that internally, in our hearts, we need to be of those who are humble, who have lowered ourselves in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and put Him on the status that He deserves to be. And so in that way, when we've lowered ourselves and humbled ourselves, this whole process of seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help through patience, through prayer, becomes far easier. And so I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a people who have khushu'. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to free every Muslim that is oppressed right now. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to resurrect us all so that we may all be in Jannatul Firdaus together. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.